Before we get started, tell me your name and your book.
Jim Wexell. The book's Steeler Nation, a Pittsburgh team, an American phenomenon.
Okay, now there are a lot of Steeler books. How is this Steeler book different?
Well, this is a road trip. See, I got up off my rear end and went out.
This gives a lot of insight, I think, that other sports books about the Steelers haven't. What would you give us as an example?
Oh, well, I cover the team, so I have access to the team. The players know me well, and they know me well enough that they gave me access to their inside world, their friends, their family in their hometown. So when I would hit Casey Hampton, for instance, when I went through Galveston on my way to Arizona for a game, we watched a game that was in Pittsburgh together with his family. And they would tell stories about young Casey, and he was never little Casey, but he was young Casey, and I would get those kind of, it was almost like a perspective of inside the Steelers from the outside. That's how it was. Now, when people see the book Steeler Nation, they think it's another collection of fan stories, and I think we're being inundated with fan stories these days. I think the Post-Gazette now has a fan story beat for away games, and I think the fans are getting clubbed over the head with this stuff. I don't know how many fan stories we can take. So I shudder when I see these kind of things, and people see the book and they worry it's a fan story book, but it's more about the current players. Like when I went through Oregon, where Troy Polamalu grew up. That was one of my favorite chapters. It seemed like the entire town of 10 Mile, Oregon came out to tell Troy Polamalu stories. So you get that perspective of Troy that you just don't get anywhere else.